And here's what I'm going to try to get across to you, right? Realistically, we don't even need any of these shapes. We just need a line to signify the direction. So here is the perspective of the face is up and down like this. We don't have perspective yet. We just have height, right? This is our perspective, right? So now we have a line that's going like this and a line that's going like this. So we have a vanishing point that's over here, and we have an up and down perspective like this, right? So now we have some level of perspective. We know that if we're going to draw a head, we need to draw it with this perspective in mind, right? We can use this center line as where the eyes go, or we can use this center lines for whatever, right? We can put it behind the face. We can use it in front of the face. Here's what I mean by putting it behind the face, right? If you've ever seen those like masks that they do of people, like I think they're called death masks, right? And then from here we have the construction coming out where this is where the brow ridge is. And then we have the nose coming in from under here. So this is what I mean by putting it behind. Try to get the same perspective here. And this is what I mean by putting it in front. Right? So we can technically just use two lines to give us a perspective and a direction, right? We can use shapes and volumes, work for a lot of people, right? And so when I'm talking about these shapes and volumes, what I'm talking about is fitting the entire head in or around this volume, right? So with the cylinder, what we're doing is we're going to take this perspective for the cylinder that I have done. And we can add to this cylinder or we can take away from it. It is personal preference, which one makes more sense to you. If you are going to add to the cylinder, we have to add the brow line, right? Using this center construction, we have the brow line. That's a pretty big brow line, but that's okay. And from there we have the nose as a mask that's coming off of it. And then we have the eyes as a mask that dig into it. Right, and this is all on top of the cylinder shape. And then we have the mouth. And we have the chin. Right, and the cheek is added as well as a mask. Right? So you can think of this as like you have a post and you're attaching human features to it. There is also the construction where you remove, right? So I have this cylinder, and I want you to really be thinking of these as like clay objects. Blender sculpting will also do a lot for you like this. What you're doing is you have a three-dimensional shape, and you are adding and removing according to your necessities, right? So don't think of this as like, oh, this is the human face. Think of this as more perspective, more geometry. You can also, like I was saying, subtract from this. And so now instead of coming out from the center line, we are going to be going in from the center line. Right? Cutting the human head out of it. And so we might add some mask to the nose as it comes to the front. But primarily, this is going to be sections we're cutting out from the shape that we started with. My arch nemesis figures. Figures are fun. Figures are fun because I have Stockholm Syndrome. So this is carving into the shape. This is where it really helps to be multidisciplinary, right? So people will be like, if I'm doing sculptures, why do I need to be good at sketches? And if I'm doing sketches, why do I need to do sculpting, right? The reason why is being able to understand this in a three-dimensional tactile sense will help you in assisting conceptualizing these 2D forms. Methods, pick one and just lock in. Exactly. You just need to find something that works for you. If you want to follow the Loomis method, that's perfectly fine, but follow it and follow it all the way through. If I want to draw the same thing, let's say we have this cone, and this cone is going to be our shape, right? So this is maybe the center-ish, more or less, probably a little bit less than the center. This is probably right here, is probably where the eyes would be. And we can add maybe like an ear shape. Ear shape would maybe, we'll put it down here since we're attaching it to this cylindrical shape, or this cone shape. This is how you get these crazy construction shapes, right? So you get characters that are really wild. That chin shape is coming in from the other side. And let's say we want to add this, we never added a jaw shape, but we could add a jaw shape, right? Down here. And then we can just follow this line from the head back down. And then, bing, bam, boom, you have kind of a normal head. I think I put the neck in the wrong place. And of course, you'd probably put hair on them. I made his eyes a bit big also. Oops. But yes. You can kind of use anything. It's up to preference. People like to use boxes. People like to use cylinders. People like to use spheres, right? It just depends on what works for you in visualizing these three-dimensional shapes being attached to each other. Right? It is just all guidelines at the end of the day. It's all perspective and design.